let me tell you about a man who escaped prisons no one else ever could, the darkest prisons in the universe, the kind built for monsters, because that's exactly what they believed he was. No matter how many walls they built, no matter how many guards they hired, no matter how impossible the odds, he always found a way out. His name was Riddick. But every legend has a chapter no one talks about. The day he landed on a forgotten world, where the prison wasn't made of steel, it was the planet itself. Can Riddick escape RimWorld? The first few days are always the hardest. No food, no shelter, no allies, not even clothes. But he was ready for whatever lay ahead. He would fight for every small chance to see the next sunrise. He was willing to do things that many would consider inhuman. Well, his first priority was finding a place to spend the night. He needed to assess the dangers of the area. He couldn't afford to be caught off guard. That's when he realized something. There was life on this planet. And where there's life, there was hope, a way to escape. Without wasting a second, he gathered everything he had and set out in search of better lands. Day after day, he explored, hunted for food, and pressed on with his journey. As the relentless heat of the scorching desert began to fade, a growing sense of relief washed over him. But don't be fooled. His journey was still far from reaching a happy ending. Before that could happen, he would need to find allies, weapons, clothing, and hardest of all, a ship to escape this planet. Then, leaving the desert behind, Riddick discovered a place where he could finally rest and gather better equipment. There, he established a camp and remained for several days, surviving on what the land could provide. He also tamed wild animals to aid him, because in that world, he couldn't trust anyone but himself. The days were peaceful. His routine revolved around gathering food, collecting animal hides, and taming new creatures. But deep down, he knew it wouldn't last forever. Sooner or later, they would come for him. Then, the first one finally dared to show himself. A tribal warrior. He was well equipped, but he had no idea who he was dealing with. Not long afterward, a stranger appeared, asking Riddick for shelter. He was a deserter from the Empire. In that moment, Riddick saw the perfect opportunity. There was no better way to get better gear than by taking it from someone who already had it. So he welcomed the man in and waited for his reward. Before killing the two Imperial soldiers, one of them mentioned a hidden weapons cache not far from Riddick's camp. With his loyal hound at his side, he decided to investigate. Upon reaching the location, Riddick took every precaution. He searched the surrounding buildings first, making sure no one was waiting to ambush him. Only then did he make his way to the cabin at the center, where the hidden supplies were said to be. While Riddick was resting after his journey, he received a warning. Mechanoids had detected his presence and were already on their way. Without a second thought, he packed up his camp and headed for a nearby settlement, hoping to trade the weapons he had found before they caught up with him.